Yeah. Eat 'em up, yum yum. Eat 'em up, yum yum. Yo, fam, what's the science? It's your boy JC, the hip hop junkie, vinyl beats and eats. Another episode. Man, talk about our guests, but you know, I always got to get into the food thing. You know, that's one of the main things everybody always asks, what you eating. Many other episodes, you know what we do. Wingstop. Got some, you know, lemon pepper, fries and stuff, so yeah. Never said the name before, but fuck it. We're rolling with this shit, so.
I'm down.
But yeah, so don't have to get into does he like it or not or anything like that, because it's fucking wings and things. So, but with that being said, allow me to introduce our guest for today, DJ Adikt, all the way down from Oceanside. You're representing, coming through. Yo, Adikt, my man, thank you for coming through.
Thanks, man. I'm actually from Vista, California, which is right next to Oceanside, but it's all the same thing. We all family, you know what I mean?
Right. So, yo, man, mad respect for coming through, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me, brother, for
right?
real.
Little drive?
A little bit. I work in Temecula, so it wasn't too
much
of a drive, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's cool.
Yeah, so, man, grub and shit, and, you know, other than that, how you doing? How's everything?
Good, bro, you know?
Yeah?
I was admiring your wall with all the guests that you had, man.
The Wall of Fame right there, yeah.
Yeah, man, you know, for me to be in the same spot where all these icons were, I'm just
Hey, man, you're an
thank you
icon
for having
yourself,
me,
man. You know, hey, everybody's the same here at Vinyl Beats and Eats, you know.
Yeah.
There is nobody higher, you know. All DJs, all producers, you know, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just put it out there, you know, make sure that people know who you are. You know, I've said it before, the DJ and the producer's always been forgotten. You know, you can walk down the street, pass right by and you wouldn't know who they were. Mm-hmm. You know, but a singer, rapper, automatic, oh, can I get a selfie? Can I, you know, get your autograph?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do, is put you guys in that same, you know, light, you know, as far as, you know, being known. But yeah, man, other than that, yo, man. So, fam, I pretty much, you know, caught Adikt through his page, Instagram. I saw your Instagram page and I was like, yo, you're doing your thing, man.
Cool,
you're doing your fucking
that,
thing, man. DJing, you know, you're doing, man, mad respect, man. You're doing your shit, man.
Appreciate that, man, yeah. I was gonna ask you that. I know you're doing the interview, but I was gonna ask.
No, you can interview me too.
I was like, so how did you catch wind of my name, Adikt One?
No, that's what it was. I don't know what it was. You were doing some type of event or something like that, and I was like, yo, man, this cat's fucking doing his thing, man. You know, he's fucking spinning. So I'm just like, and that's my thing too, is it doesn't matter if you have a name, you don't have a name or whatever, you know, I'm trying to get, you know, everybody in here, and yeah, I was just like, I gotta have you on here, man. I gotta have you on here. So took a minute, you know, reaching out, touching back and forth and stuff, you know, but that's how life is, you know, fucking everybody's got shit to do. You know? Everybody's got shit to do besides what you do, also your personal life, you know? And so, you know, that kind of has to play into that. But other than that, man, shit, man, what's up with you, man? How's everything going, man? What you been up to?
Everything's cool, man, you know? You know, and I know you see, like, you know, we're constantly working and stuff, and it's not just me. You know, I have a whole team behind me, man.
Okay.
You know, and you know.
Shout out your crew, man.
Yeah, we got a whole scene in North County, San Diego, and I say North County, San Diego because when you see San Diego, a lot of people forget they pass the coast and they go straight into downtown, like the downtown metropolitan area of San Diego. You know what I mean? They forget, or not really forget. They just sometimes it seems like we're not really much too included, and now we're starting to catch more wreck.
Right.
And so, like, and the one person that really actually has a lot to do with it nowadays is the homie Osai Lens, right? You know, shout out to that dude.
Right.
He's been bringing up a lot of new artists like RM the Poet and Coat Recordings, the homie Big Ace from Orange County.
Okay.
He's been bringing them out there too.
Right.
And just a bunch of other people, man. So, yeah, shout out to Osai Lens, man. He's been putting in a lot of work for us, and because of him, I get to actually display my skills and now I have to stay on point. You know what I mean? Because now we got the front and center camera on us.
Gotta keep the sword sharp, man.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, the whole team. We stay moving. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to freaking Droops from Out the House, because he started giving us opportunities down there, and so now we're showing love to him, and he's showing his love right back.
Doing things, man.
And we've been like,
doing things.
We just had Master Killer in Vista.
Okay.
We did MB Riders. We're gonna do Sugar Free April 12th at Black Plague Brewing. Yeah, so
in that area.
If you're on the Oceanside, Sugar Free, Black Plague Brewing. If you guys don't know Black Plague Brewing, I used to do this event there called Rock the Plague a long time ago, and I used to invite all kinds of DJs, man. I had Funk Dubious there, or Sun Doobie.
Sun Doobie.
We've had Gas Lamp Killer. I've had.
I seen you on your page, man. You fucking with some people, man. You had Tash. I saw a picture with you, Tash.
Yeah, that was at Back to Basics.
Oh, okay.
That was at Back to Basics.
Yo, you were up there?
Yeah, DJ.
That's fucking crazy. You know what, fucking Addict? We probably passed right by each other.
Probably.
Because I was there too, man. And now that you say that, those pictures now is clicking now. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh shit, yeah. I was up at Back to Basics.
We were probably at a lot of events together, in LA, because I'm not a stranger to LA like hip hop.
Right.
I used to love coming up to LA to come to the hip hop shows.
Right.
I used to fuck heavy with the homies from Chinky at Fridays.
Oh, okay.
And so 501er used to always bring us up, and shout out to 501er, bro. That's the homie, man.
Right.
Him, Swizzle, Normal, Aspect, the whole camp from Chinky back in the days. We used to come up here, me and my brother George, and we would go to a bunch of events, and 501er started doing beat battles. And back then I used to rock with beats. I mean I still do.
You fuck with beats too?
Yeah. So
we should have had you come and fucking do beats.
I know. Everybody always tells me too. They're like, "Yo, you should start." I'm like, I do. I just make my own little edits and things like that here and there, but not as heavy as I used to before. Now I just kind of just do the DJ stuff.
Right.
But 501er used to do the hotel room beat battles.
Okay.
In Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of connected with a lot of people, and I met like DiBiase and Hoppa and freaking
these are the cats that were holding it down.
Back in the days, Hoppa, DiBiase used to go by Diabolic back then, and freaking Twiz and a lot of these cats back in the day, and I connected with a lot of people in LA, so a lot of people kind of showed love for that, and I respect LA for that.
Yeah, that's what's up. You mentioned Droops. You're doing work with him?
Yeah. He's actually starting to do the Out the House North County, San Diego.
Nice.
So
I miss those shows, man.
Yeah, we teamed up with him.
Those shows.
Yeah, we teamed up with him out in North County, San Diego, and some of my peeps that own breweries, they're letting us do the events. And they have nice little venues and stuff like that.
I noticed that a lot of breweries are hosting events and shit like that. I noticed that.
Yeah.
We were just talking a little earlier. There was one in LA that had like Evidence. And there's one here in Covina, actually. They do one too. They also have pizza place, Pie Trap. Yo, you ever fucking out in that area? Pie Trap is off the hook, man. That shit's a business right there.
It's a pizza place?
Oh, yeah, man. I'll put it up there. Shout out to Pie Trap, man, because the only reason why I said it because I fuck with it. But USC football player used to play, owns it, Sean Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean Cody. But, yeah, man, that's a good spot right there, too. But, yeah, I noticed that a lot of breweries are doing these type of events. And shit. That's dope, though, man. You know, who wouldn't want to be drinking beers and fucking listening to music? You know?
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing about those, because they're breweries, they're not bars, so you can do all ages.
Yeah.
And just wristband people.
Yeah.
You go to the bar. You go to the bar, get yourself a beer.
Right.
Have it 21 and over, but you can still be there with your little brother. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still have a good time. Like we did MB Riders at Booze Brothers.
Okay.
In Vista, and man, I won't forget this shit. This shit was cool. I'm on stage and there's like this mom and I think her sister, and then they had I think it was her son, but he was small. He was right in the front, and they were kind of smashing him. And I was up on stage and I was just like, "Come here," And so we brought him up on stage right before MB Riders came on, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you watch the show from up here."
Man,
Bro,
that's the shit right
It was
there.
like
You made that kid's day.
incredible.
You know,
dude, he filmed the whole entire
he's
thing.
He's gonna always look back at that shit and be like, "Yo, man, I remember that time." See, that's the type of vibe we need. You know, that's the type of people we need. You know, to be able to look out and recognize and see these things. You know, kids, man. You know, if they fucking involved with this shit, these are the future. They're the ones that are gonna be fucking keeping this shit going. So yeah, man, that kid must have been in his glory, man. We fucking turned around and pulled him up.
He was having a great old time. He kept looking at me like, "Hey, I'm cool. All right, you're good. Don't even trip. You're good."
Yeah, he probably went back and told his family and friends and everything. Yeah.
Nah, his mom was jacked. They were digging. That was cool, man. That was awesome, man.
So you being in down to that area, San Diego area, and DJing and everything, like, how'd you get put onto the whole scene? Were you always just a fan of hip hop, or was it just something that kind of went your way? Or did you just start with hip hop? Because it started,
obviously, I've always been a fan of hip hop since back in the days. I'm actually from LA.
Oh, okay.
I was born and raised in LA. Before I moved to San Diego, I was living in El Sereno.
Oh, okay.
And
Sereno, all right.
Yeah. And we used to, dude, I remember before we moved, it was when I was heavily getting into hip hop. But when I actually first started DJing, it wasn't hip hop, it was house music. And I was playing house music, and I met a homie that worked at a record store called World Records in Alhambra.
Yeah, I remember World Records.
Yeah, so the homie Spino used to work there. Mm-hmm. He was this dude named La Rock, DJ La Rock.
Okay.
And he was on, he used to do like the power tours on Power 106 when La Rock and
Richard Hump Division.
Yeah, Richard Hump Division, and he was part of that circuit. Well, his younger brother used to work at that record store, and I remember we were always in there, and he used to always dig like the fact that we were into like actually spinning, but like I don't know, like incorporating like the hip hop's cuts into house music.
Oh.
And so he's like, "Hey, we're gonna do a little DJ battle," and this was right before we were moving. I was like telling my mama, "You have to wait so I can enter this battle." And we went, and I didn't win, but it was a cool experience to be around like that scenario of like of hip hop. Only seeing it
in a battle.
Yeah, only seeing it in Juice and like movies like that where there was actual DJ battles. And watching like the the DMC battles and like the Techniques battle and all those things.
So you're seeing this stuff and you're like, fuck, now I'm involved with it.
Yeah, and so actually doing it like. It was just a good experience for like for house music. It was different because it was just a mix and blend type of thing.
Right.
But it was fast because they only give you like 10 minutes or something like that.
Right.
So it was cool because you felt the pressure. You were like your song selection was like you had to be on point.
Right.
And at that point, I didn't even know like the evolution of where we were gonna evolve into with mashups and things like that.
Yeah,
we were doing it back then because people were trying to get fast with it. They were already doing it, you know what I mean, with vinyl and things like that back in the day.
Right, yeah,
You know what I mean? So, with that being said, with your question about getting into hip hop, I got into hip hop, like actually doing like the beats and the working with the MCs and things like that. Actually, after I moved to San Diego,
what are some of like back then? What were some of the hip hop joints that were popping back then?
Well,
like that because your avenue, your places to go to do these type of things.
And that
was it scarce or was it like was it?
Nah, cause I was born in the '80s and I'm a product of the '90s. So I grew up in the '90s era, which I don't know how old you are, but like
I'm man.
And so am I. So like I grew up in what they call the golden era, right?
Yeah.
So I was listening to the Alcoholics and Funk Dubious and when it was better coming out and Wu-Tang Clan.
That shit was just coming out.
All that stuff, and then I was also a huge fan of the Wake Up Show. Right, and I used to get the CDs like when they used to come out of the warehouse or Sam Goody.
Right.
Remember that?
Sam Goody and warehouse. Damn.
Yes, and Music Trader and all that stuff. Bro, I would collect all the compilations because that's how you would hear all the the newer people, and then I would be like, oh, this dude's dope, and then I would go buy their CDs or their records and things like that, right? Fat Beats, when Fat Beats used to come up with the compilations.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I would get all the compilations first and be like, yo, like The Arsonist, Nonfiction, Necro, and when all this other East Coast stuff started.
So that's what you were tapping into.
Yeah, and then earlier you were tapping into it with the Rhodium mixtapes and things like that. Hearing those, like you would hear all the underground, LA underground, with Visionaries and freaking back in the early '90s. I was when Eminem was coming out, and freaking just the whole LA underground was big, dude. I fell in love with hip hop because it was the right time of hip hop.
Oh, I mean, what a time to get into it. I mean, it was just talent was flooding.
Yeah.
And dope fucking groups, dope MCs were fucking coming out.
Yeah, and then there was a lot and then you dive more into it because then again with the compilations like the Bums. I don't know if you know who the Bums were. No. They were produced by the Baker Boys, but they were from the Bay Area.
Okay.
Brothers under something like that. Anyhow, groups like that I was getting into, and the Nons, and and Project Blowed, and things like that. What's the other one? Shapeshifters. I got all into like underground hip hop, and then Scientifical, and then you get back into it when like the late '90s started happening, when Cali Agents came out, and Peanut Butter Wolf came out with my Vinyl Weighs a Ton, and so
I remember I think he was out in Hollywood, and I think it was Hollywood Records or something, and I got a compilation of that, and I was just like, yo, that shit's fucking dope, man. I just wanted you to come out and hang with us. I just want to come and bullshit, cut it up a little bit, let our people know who you are, so when you're out and about, people coming in and just saying, yo, Adikt, what's up, man?
Yeah.
But, man, just wanted you to come out, bullshit with eat a little food, and obviously entertain us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, so other than that, same old shit, man. But really appreciate you coming out, hanging with us. Dude,
thank you for having me, brother. You know what I mean? Like, anytime I can whip out the old wax and things like that, dude, I brought a little collection of old school, like, West Coast hip-hop.
Hey, you the DJ. You're spinning, man.
Yeah.
You're coming over, you're doing your thing, yo. Fam, you already know, man. You already know. This is that part of the show where we're going to step out for a little bit. It's a 2-part show. Interview on YouTube, performance on Instagram, stories, highlights, So that being said, like we always say, go to the bathroom, get something to eat, get something to drink, roll one up, We're about to be entertained right now. Adikt, DJ Adikt. Down from the Diego area. Shout out to Diego, That being said, hit that link right there, Instagram. If you can't hit it or whatever, Vinyls, Beats, and Eats. Look for us on there. You're about to see this guy right now. About to see this guy do his thing. So, yo, fam, about to jump into it right now. It's your boy JC, the Hip Hop Junkie. Vinyl, Beats, and Eats. DJ Adikt. Taking a drive from down south all the way up over here to LA, just to be with us, to hang with us. See, this is the type of fucking people we have, man. They fuck with us. We fuck with them. So, yo, Adikt, again, thank you, brother.
Yeah, appreciate
you. Hang out. We're going to hang out for a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, that being said, man, it's your boy JC, the Hip Hop Junkie. Said it already. Adikt, gotta keep saying Adikt. Man, we're going to do this shit. One love.
Peace.
Yeah.